week's bone-chilling episode of Naruto Shippuden, Sasuke's journey to find out the truth behind the mystery of the exploding ninja continues as he travels to the Hell Valley, located in the Land of Steam, so that he can do battle with Fu Shin. Spoiler alert if you've not seen this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, they officially reveal the identity of Fu Shin in this week's episode. This was a really great one right here. I especially love how it picked up from the end of last week's episode where they were in this underground fighting arena and all of these exploding ninja finally appeared and they started causing all of this massive destruction. But thanks to Yamato and Orochimaru, they were able to basically cover these exploding ninja with their signature techniques, with Yamato covering them in wood and Orochimaru even using his tried and true snakes. It was a really cool scene to say the least. You could also tell that this whole situation was finally starting to get under Sasuke's skin, especially because at the very end of this week's episode, we get to learn that who he's been chasing the entire time has actually been incredibly close to him since the beginning of this entire arc. But one of the biggest details about this episode, and something that I think is one of the most unique aspects about it, is just getting to learn a little bit more about another clan from the Naruto world, which is just as prestigious as the Uchiha clan, but were essentially stamped out a long time ago. So even though everything went seemingly wrong at this underground fighting tournament, Sasuke was still allowed to meet En Oyashiro, who is the weapons dealer. And I have to say, his design is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why, but he totally reminds me of Elton John. Maybe it's the glasses and his extreme effeminate personality, but he has a lot of important information about Fu Shin, as well as some information about this clan which goes by the name of the Chinoiki clan. And this is when the pieces of the puzzle are finally going to start falling into place. So, apparently, in the past, there was this renowned clan known as the Chinoiki clan, which had this Kekai Genkai ability, which is very similar to the Uchiha. They had these creepy red eyes, and they could use genjutsu on people, and essentially they could control them to do their bidding. And there was this illustrious feudal lord who had a mistress who happened to be from this clan, but when the feudal lord died, his wife blamed everything on the mistress. So they decided to take this woman and her entire clan, and basically banish them away to the Hell Valley, where they were actually looked over and imprisoned by the Uchiha clan. Of course, this immediately makes Sasuke pissed off, and he's even thinking, I wonder if Itachi knew anything about this, and even Orochimaru has no idea. But he learns that the Hell Valley might be where Fu Shin is from, so he, Nowacki, and Shino decide to go to the Land of Steam, and they're going to skip all of the hot springs and go right into the battling, because almost immediately they're assaulted by this group of exploding ninja, which luckily Sasuke is able to use his genjutsu abilities on to suppress all of their big attacks. But he's suddenly attacked by this ninja which is hanging out in the trees, who keeps throwing all of these knives at him, which, curiously enough, are not his own chakra. Again, this is another piece of the puzzle falling into play, and Sasuke ends up going up against this guy who seems to be proficient in using Earth style and using Lava style, actually transforming the lava into rubber. And what I think is one of the more unique fight scenes that I've seen from the whole series, where he actually tries to trap Sasuke in this massive walled fortress and fire all of these big rubber balls at him, which are constantly exploding off of the walls. But Sasuke makes quick work of this guy when he clearly realizes that this is not Fu Shin. This is not the guy who's in charge of the Lightning Gang. And just as he's about to be defeated, suddenly out of nowhere, Nowacki returns. And the reason that he returns is because Sasuke was looking into the head of this guy, and he realized that Nowacki was actually the one who was causing all of this stuff at the underground fighting ring. So, Nowacki, of course, is Fu Shin. The evidence was all there from the beginning of this arc. The fact that they both have green hair, yellow eyes, and the scar on their face. The only difference being the physical appearance of one of them being large and fat, and the other one being small and thin. Well, apparently this guy has some sort of weird jutsu where he can transform himself and inflate himself, and he deflates himself by actually cutting his wrists, which is some really ghastly imagery, but he suddenly shrinks down into the Fu Shin that we've been expecting to see from the rest of the series. This was the Fu Shin who was turned away from that village that we saw at the very beginning of the arc. Now, obviously, Nowacki is Fu Shin. But who is Chino? She's clearly working along with him, and I've been saying for the last couple of episodes that she is probably the one with these abilities, and when you put the two names together with Chino and Shinoiki, it makes sense. She's almost certainly the one with the Kekai Genkai abilities. She's working along with Fushin in order to get revenge against the Uchiha clan, who imprisoned their clan away a long time ago, and considering that Sasuke is the only Uchiha left, well, his head is on the freaking chopping block. It was a really great twist, but it was kind of easy to see. So, what's the rundown on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden? Another fantastic episode, which had great production value, damn near movie quality half the time. All of the character designs also happen to be incredibly distinctive, and a lot of the abilities that we've been seeing are stuff that we've never actually seen before, so that's something that I really appreciate. Yes, the whole Nowacki being Fushin is kind of obvious, especially if you've been watching this arc from the beginning. The evidence was all there. Chino's almost certainly going along with him, and this has all been their elaborate plan to sort of trap Sasuke, bring him back to the place where her clan was, so that she could get this poetic justice and kill him. But what I also really loved about this episode, and this goes in line with the last couple, is that we're actually getting some really solid character development from Sasuke, and that's saying a lot because in the last half of the series, he was sort of a dark and brooding character just sort of going about and doing his own thing, and now we get a version of Sasuke who's sort of trying to rectify all of the wrongs that he's done in the past, and seeing that is really refreshing. It's also great to see that he is trying to be something more of a hero this time around, and basically everything got really personal at the end of this episode right here, especially when you get to see that the Uchiha had a very strong involvement with what happened to the Shinoiki clan in the past. And apparently this must have been some really secretive stuff. I mean, even according to En Oyashiro, all of this took place even before, like, the big conflicts between Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju. So I really can't wait to see how all of this is going to play out. I don't think that Fushin is even going to have a chance against Sasuke, to be perfectly honest, but he does have some unique abilities. The fact that he can sort of just deflate himself, and then you got Chino, who is almost certainly going to get involved in this battle as well. It wasn't the greatest twist in the world, but I'd really like to see it unfold, and that's what's been the best thing about this arc. That and just the freaking production value. It's fantastic. We're going to settings that we've never seen in the Naruto universe. Just the beginning of the episode, seeing the underground fighting ring again, I really loved it. We don't see stuff like that. One of my commenters actually said, it kind of reminds them of Hunter x Hunter, and I totally agree. It's like a perfect combination of the Heaven's Tower and the York New City arc. And then after that, we move to this, like, warm, inviting, almost holiday-esque setting at the Land of Steam. It really makes you feel warm and invited, but then at the end, things get really violent with all the explosions and the brand new character who shows up with the mud walls and the lava balls. It's just crazy, and it's a lot of fun, and it's great motivation for Sasuke. It's great characterization for him. It's great to see a version of him we haven't seen really since the first half of the series, and they're expanding upon it. And it's got a great mystery and lots of action, so I have nothing but good to say about this episode, and frankly, my friends, that's incredibly refreshing, because, let's face it, the Naruto Shippuden anime series hasn't exactly been the best over the course of the last year. I mean, yes, we got the Naruto versus Sasuke fight. It rocked. We can all agree on that. And some people are probably disappointed that we're not even getting to the final part of the manga. They're not adapting the final story. But we're getting this story right here, which is based on a novel series. And if you haven't read the novel, and I have not, it makes it incredibly refreshing because you don't know what's going to happen, and it had me at the edge of my seat the entire time. And frankly, I cannot wait to see how this entire arc is going to wrap up. I'm very excited to see what Sasuke is going to do against Fushin, and I'm just waiting for that inevitable moment when Chino is going to be revealed as, like, a descendant of the Shinoiki clan. So, great episode right here, fantastic production value, awesome characterization, cool settings, and lots of great ninja action. I'm giving this episode right here a solid 4 out of 5. It was a little slow in the first half of the episode, but it was still very satisfying. If anything, we got to see Yamato and Orochimaru do some cool shit. Sasuke, as always, is incredibly awesome, so it was just a fun episode all around. But that's my thoughts on this week's episode. Before you guys leave today, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and leave me a comment or two. I will see you next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby.